You think Allah is silent, but He is protecting you. There are moments when life feels very heavy. You sit alone and wonder if anyone is listening. You make dua, but nothing seems to change. You try to stay strong, but the pain is still there. The rejection still hurts. The future still feels unclear. And slowly, a question starts to grow inside you. Why is this happening to me? You did your best, you stayed patient, you trusted Allah, but things still did not go the way you hoped. Doors closed, people left, plans fell apart, and now it feels like you are being left behind. In that silence, it is easy to think that something is wrong, that maybe you are being punished, that maybe Allah is not responding to you. But what if that is not true? What if the silence is not neglect? What if the closed doors are not rejection? What if the things that did not happen were actually protecting you? Because sometimes protection does not feel soft. It does not feel like ease. Sometimes it feels like loss. It feels like confusion. It feels like waiting with no answers. But that does not mean Allah has left you. It may mean He is guiding you away from something you cannot see. So if your heart feels tired right now, stay with me. Because what feels like pain today may be the very thing that is protecting you. And by the end of this, you will start to see your situation in a different way. There is something many people believe without even realizing it. When something goes wrong, they think it must be a punishment. If a relationship ends, they think, what did I do wrong? If a door closes, they think maybe Allah is not pleased with me. If life becomes hard, they start to feel like they are being pushed away. But this is not always true. Pain does not always mean punishment. Even the best people faced pain. The prophets went through loss, rejection, and hardship. They were tested in ways most of us cannot imagine. But their pain was never a sign that Allah had abandoned them. It was part of something greater. So when you go through difficulty, do not rush to judge it. Do not assume the worst about your Lord, because Allah does not turn away from the one who turns to Him. Sometimes what you are going through is not a punishment, it is a test, and sometimes it is protection. There is a powerful reminder in the Quran. Allah tells us that you may dislike something while it is good for you, and you may like something while it is bad for you. This means your heart does not always see clearly. What feels painful now may actually be saving you. And what you wanted so badly may have harmed you in ways you cannot see. That is why things do not always go as planned, because your plan is based on what you feel, but Allah's plan is based on what is best for you. So when something hurts, pause before you label it. Do not call it punishment too quickly. It may be protection. It may be guidance. It may be Allah moving things in your life in a way that your heart does not understand yet. You are not being pushed away. You are being guided, even if it does not feel like it right now. Now let's talk about something that is hard to accept. Sometimes protection does not feel like comfort. It feels like loss. You prayed for something, you wanted it deeply, you imagined your life with it, but it did not happen. Or it came close and then slipped away. A relationship ended, a job did not work out, a plan you held on to for so long suddenly collapsed. And in that moment, it feels like something was taken from you. It hurts, it feels unfair. You start asking, why would Allah allow this? But what if nothing was taken from you? What if something was removed to protect you? Because not everything that feels good is good for you, and not everything you lose is a loss. Sometimes what leaves your life is the very thing that would have hurt you later. That relationship you wanted so badly may have brought you pain you cannot even imagine. The job you did not get may have taken your peace, your time, even your connection with Allah. The path that closed may have led you somewhere you were not meant to go. But you cannot see that right now. You only see what you lost. You feel the empty space, and your heart focuses on what could have been. That is why it hurts so much, because your heart was attached to an outcome. And when that outcome did not happen, it felt like something broke. But sometimes what broke was protecting you. Allah sees what you do not see. He knows what is ahead. He knows what would harm you, even if it looks perfect to you now. So when something leaves your life, do not always see it as rejection. Sometimes it is redirection. Sometimes it is mercy. Sometimes it is Allah removing something before it removes your peace. You may not understand it today. You may not understand it tomorrow, but one day you will look back and realize that what you thought was a loss was actually protection all along. To understand this deeply, look at the story of Yusuf, peace be upon him. His life did not begin with ease. It began with pain. He was a young boy, innocent, pure, and the people who hurt him were not strangers. They were his own brothers. They threw him into a well, left him there alone in darkness. From the outside, it looked like the end, but it was not. That moment was the beginning of something much bigger. He was taken from the well and sold into slavery, far from his home, far from his father. No comfort, no support, just a new life he never asked for. Then things got even harder. He was falsely accused. He was sent to prison, not because he did something wrong, but because he chose to do what was right. Think about that. He stayed true to his values and still suffered. If you were in his place, you might ask, where is the ease? Why is this happening to me? But every step had a purpose. The well was not the end, it was protection. The slavery was not the end, it was movement. The prison was not the end, it was preparation. Because later, Allah raised him. He was given a position of power, respect, stability. He was placed in a role where he could help others. And one day, he stood in front of the same brothers who hurt him. At that moment, everything made sense. Every pain, every delay, every hardship, it was all part of a plan. What looked like betrayal was actually protection. What looked like loss was actually preparation. Yusuf, peace be upon him, did not understand his story while he was inside it, but Allah understood every step. And this is the lesson for you. You may be in your well right now. You may feel like you are in a place you never chose. You may feel stuck, confused, or forgotten, but your story is not over. Just like Yusuf, peace be upon him, what you are going through may be leading you somewhere better. You just cannot see it yet. There is a reason you feel confused right now. It is not because your life has no meaning. It is because you can only see a small part of it. You see the moment. You see what is in front of you. You feel the pain as it is happening, but you do not see what is ahead. You do not see what was hidden from you. You do not see what could have happened if things went your way. And that is where the struggle begins. Because your heart judges the situation based on what it feels now. If it hurts, you think it must be bad. If it did not happen, you think it must be a loss. But your view is limited. Allah's view is not. He sees what is coming. He sees what would have harmed you. He sees the paths you were saved from. He sees the outcomes you cannot imagine. That is why things do not always make sense to you. Because you are looking at one moment, while Allah is looking at your whole life. Think about this. There are things you once wanted so badly. You prayed for them. You believed they were perfect for you. But today you are glad they did not happen. At that time, you did not understand. It felt like a loss, but later you saw the wisdom. This is the same situation. You just have not reached a point where it becomes clear. So instead of asking, why is this happening? Try to shift your thinking. Say, there is something I do not see yet. That small shift changes everything because it replaces frustration with trust. You do not need to understand everything right now. You do not need all the answers today. You only need to believe that there is wisdom, even if it is hidden. Because you see the moment, but Allah sees the outcome. Now the question becomes simple. How do you know if Allah is protecting you? The signs are not always loud. They are quiet. You can miss them if you are only focused on what you lost. One sign is when something leaves your life suddenly. A person walks away, a door closes, a plan breaks without warning. At first it feels painful, but sometimes what left was not meant to stay. It was removed before it could harm you. Another sign is when your plans keep failing, even when you try your best. You work hard, you prepare, you pray, but things still do not come together. This does not always mean you are doing something wrong. Sometimes it means you are being redirected. You are being moved away from something that is not good for you. Another sign is when you start feeling uncomfortable in something you once wanted. A relationship no longer feels right. A place feels heavy. A situation drains your peace. That discomfort is not random. It can be a sign pushing you to step away. Sometimes protection feels like pressure, like you are being pushed out of a place you were trying to stay in. Another sign is change. You are forced to take a different path. You did not plan it, you did not want it, but it happens anyway. And slowly that new path starts to make sense. And one of the strongest signs is this: you feel closer to Allah during your pain. When everything else falls apart, you find yourself turning to Him more. Your dua becomes more honest. Your heart becomes softer. You begin to depend on Him in a way you never did before. That is not loss, that is protection. Because anything that brings you closer to Allah is not taking from you, it is giving to you. So look at your life carefully. Not everything that hurts is harming you. Some things are protecting you in ways you cannot see. And once you start noticing these signs, your perspective begins to change. You stop asking, why did this happen? And you start asking, what is this protecting me from? Now you understand what might be happening. But the real question is this: what should you do while you are in this phase? You do not need to fix everything at once. You do not need all the answers. You just need to take small, steady steps. The first step is simple: talk to Allah. Not in perfect words, not in a formal way, just be honest. Tell Him you are tired. Tell Him you are confused. Tell Him what is in your heart. Even a few simple words are enough, because Allah is not waiting for perfect speech. He is waiting for a real connection. The second step is to keep your prayer steady, even when you do not feel anything, even when your mind is distracted. Just show up, stand, pray, stay consistent, because prayer is not only for when you feel strong, it is what keeps you strong. The third step is to remember Allah during your day. In small ways. You do not need long time or perfect focus. Just say simple words: I trust you. You know what is best. Help me. These small moments slowly calm your heart. The fourth step is to stop trying to control everything. You keep thinking, why did this happen? What will happen next? But some answers will not come right now, and that is okay. You do not need to control the outcome. You need to trust the one who controls it. Another important step is patience. Not the kind where you force yourself to feel okay, but the kind where you accept that healing takes time. You allow yourself to feel, but you do not let the feeling control you. And also, be kind to yourself. You are not weak because you feel pain. You are not losing faith because you are struggling. You are human. And even the strongest people go through moments like this. So do not rush yourself. Take one step at a time. Make one sincere dua. Keep one prayer strong. Hold on to one small act of trust, because you do not need to have everything figured out. You just need to stay connected to Allah while you go through it, and that is enough. Now bring this back to your own life, because this is not just a story. This is something you may be living right now. Maybe you are holding on to a relationship that is hurting you. You keep trying to fix it. You keep hoping it will change. But deep inside you feel tired. You feel drained. And still you are afraid to let go. But sometimes protection is the strength to walk away. Not because you failed, but because Allah is removing something that is taking your peace. Or maybe your struggle is different. Maybe you worked hard for something, a job, an opportunity, a plan you believed in. You gave your time, your effort, your energy, but it did not work out. And now you feel lost. You feel like nothing is moving. But what if that no was not rejection? What if it was protection? What if that path would have taken you somewhere that would slowly pull you away from your peace? Or even your faith? Sometimes what looks like failure is actually redirection. And then there is another kind of struggle, the quiet one. You feel tired, but no one sees it. You smile, but it does not feel real. You are surrounded by people, but you still feel alone. You try to stay strong. You try to keep going, but inside it feels heavy. And in those moments, you may wonder if anyone understands, but Allah does. He sees what no one else sees. He knows the effort you are making. He knows the thoughts you are fighting. He knows the pain you carry in silence. Even your quiet struggle is seen. So whatever you are facing right now, do not think you are alone in it. This moment may feel confusing. It may feel unfair, but it is not empty. There is meaning in it. There is protection in it. And there is a path forward, even if you cannot see it yet. Now come back to something simple. You are not being punished. You are being protected. It may not feel like that right now. It may feel like loss, like delay, like silence. But that does not mean Allah has left you. Sometimes the very thing that breaks your plan is the thing that protects your future. If something left your life, it did not leave without a reason. If something did not happen, it did not miss you by mistake. And if you are still here, still breathing, still trying, then Allah is still guiding you. You do not need to understand everything right now. You just need to trust. Trust that what is written for you will come at the right time, and what is not written will never stay, no matter how much you wanted it. So when your heart feels heavy again, do something simple. Turn back to Allah. Make a quiet dua. Say, Ya Allah, if this is good for me, bring it closer to me in a way that brings me closer to you. And if it is not, then remove it from my heart and give me something better. Say it with honesty, say it with trust, because this kind of dua changes your heart. It takes the weight from your chest and places it where it belongs, in the hands of the one who knows what is best for you. And slowly you will feel a shift. Maybe your situation will not change right away, but your heart will. You will feel lighter, calmer, more at peace, because you are no longer holding everything on your own. If this reminder reached your heart, keep it with you. And if someone else is struggling like you, share it with them. Sometimes one reminder is enough to bring someone back to hope. And maybe today that someone is you.